Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Naomi MT. I'm a dancer, actress, model, and sensual artist, and I'm here today to talk about sensuality. So this video is called Sensuality 101. It is for you to understand what sensuality is and what it even means to you. So for me, I love sensuality. I love talking about sensuality. I'm very passionate about it. And I'm finally now at a space and spot in my life where I'm openly talking about it. And I want to educate people on why I'm so passionate about it. Now, sensuality for me is when all your senses are fully tapped in and you're happy, you're feeling pleasure. And for all the people that have like a certain mind, I want you to understand that when I say pleasure, when it comes to all these things, it's overall pleasure. It is not just sexually. And I'm saying this because society has really done a good job, and colonialism has really done a good job at programming us to always think about, to always connect certain words with the topic sex. And the reason that is because they want you to feel shameful. They want you to feel guilt about certain things, right? Certain things are just not that open to talk about in the community or in general in the world. And one word where definitely they have programmed us is pleasure. I want you to think of pleasure as happiness, as something that brings you joy, something that makes you happy, okay? Not just that one way. And it is super important that you break free from those connections certain words may have, because you're pulling away from it, you're not gonna ever tap into that world and actually understand that, hey, this is actually the key to happiness. This is the key to health. This is the key to wealth. This is the key to whatever it may be. And pleasure is one of those words. I would say knowing what your pleasure is, what you're pleasured by, what pleasures you is super important, especially as a woman. Because again, we've been programmed to see certain things as shameful, as, you know, when you say it, you may feel guilty or you may feel like it's a taboo topic to talk about. But you deserve pleasure as a woman, and you deserve to feel pleasured and all these things. So now, sensuality for me is also when you're fully tapped into self. When I say tapped into self, I mean being in tune with yourself, being at ease with yourself, being at peace within self. You don't question too many things. You accept yourself and you constantly make an effort to grow. That is tapping into yourself. You understand you're an individual like everyone else, and you have things that you can work on and get better at. For me, I said this before, pleasure is priority. I literally made that a thing. That is definitely a thing. Pleasure is priority and pleasure is happiness. And for me, happiness is also sensuality. It all taps into you feeling good at the end of the day. Another thing that's going to help you in this topic is fully accepting what actually gives you pleasure. It's owning what pleasure is to you, whether that's traveling, whether that's spirituality, whether that's dance, whether that's art, whether that's creating, whether that's health. Is something that gives you pleasure in life on a day-to-day basis, and that also can go into purpose. Now, understanding and owning my sensuality for me has helped me to overcome a lot of things, whether that's mental health issues or physical health issues that were just popping up again and again. And I was kind of tired of not paying attention to it, because for me, again, it means you're fully tapped into yourself to be sensual, to be a sensual woman. Because at the end of the day, your body tells you when you're tired. Your body tells you when you've had enough. Your mind also tells you when you've had enough of something. And it's understanding those things and those little, how do you say that, warning signals. And instead of being like, oh, I'm still this, I'm still whatever, I can get it done another time, I'm still young, I don't have to worry about it. No, pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your body, pay attention to your mind, pay attention to how you feel, pay attention to all these things. That is what sensuality is. And that's why for me it's so key for people to understand that your senses are there for a reason. And once you are fully tapped into your senses and you feel good or bad or not so good or unpleasant and discomfort, those are warning signs. Those are triggers for you to pay attention to. Understand? I hope it makes sense. For me, another thing that I love about sensuality is that with learning about it and exploring and channeling that energy of me, what happened was for me to flourish more into understanding divine feminine energy, to feeling that burst of energy within, to being like, yo, like This is really my divine feminine energy. That's what it's about for me. And all in all, to keep it short, sensuality has made me aware of divine feminine energy and the divinity within me, because again, it's all connected to your intuition, to your pleasure centers, to how you feel. And it's really, I can just say this again, it's signs. Do you know what I'm saying? Take the signs, because once you listen to yourself more instead of the outside world and everything that society may tell you to do, you're gonna eventually understand that there is divinity within you, that you are actually divine, that you are and you have inside an inner goddess, an inner god. So I hope that makes sense as to why I say it, because I do know there's some people out there that will not get it. But for the people that are here, I want you to get it. I want you to wrap your head around it and make sense of this. The divine feminine and sensuality is also the joy within you. It's you being one with your body, mind, and soul, right? We always hear being one with your body, mind, and soul, but what does it really mean? There's so many different ways to go about it, but for me, it's part of sensuality, because sensuality led me here. It wasn't me saying, oh, I'm just gonna learn about body, mind, and soul and go to yoga classes. Don't get me wrong, you can do that. But for me, it was deeper than just taking classes or just reading books or just listening to podcasts. I had to really explore and dive into that world myself. Also understanding that the society we live in now, the westernized society, and where that stems from is colonialism, right? It has really, in a lot of people, manifested that they only pay attention to materialistic wealth, materialistic gain, materialistic expression, and all these things. And that is why so many people are tapped out. So many people are not in tune with themselves. And that is a reason why I'm here wanting to make the content I want to make. And I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. This is just the start of something. If we would learn from young, and if we would learn in school a few spiritual lessons, and learning that body, mind, and soul is the most important, and not wealth and not materialism, then we would all be a lot more happier. It is only because we are so focused on the materialistic things, that is why people are so unhappy, guys. Let's keep it real, because you're not in tune with nature, you're not in tune with self, you're not in tune with the things that really make you happy. Some people say, oh yeah, retail therapy, that makes me happy. That is not you tapping into your sensuality. Respectfully, even when people tell me I channel my divine feminine, for example, with makeup, it's partly still acceptable because our ancestors was doing it, and it's part of beauty, and it's all of that. But when it becomes surface level, same with clothes. You can express yourself through clothes, but if it just becomes a thing where you're just buying clothes because that's the latest high fashion brand or the latest designer that dropped, then there's no sensuality or sense in it, right? I hope you get what I'm saying. There needs to be depth in something. There needs to be substance in something. And also, we have to understand that people are fearful, gullible, naive, and easy to manipulate when they're out of tune with self. That's why you may be feeling the way you're feeling, or you've had a phase where you wasn't feeling like yourself. That is why you need to tap back into your sensuality, because you don't want to be fearful. You don't want to be easy to manipulate. You don't want to be regretting everything you do and not feeling steady and grounded within your own life and within your own self. Really understanding that materialism and materialistic wealth and just that focus brings a lot of pain and suffering to us as people. What we need is more healing. What we need is more love. We need more love in this world. We need more health in this world. We need more actual wealth in this world. People that have wealthy hearts, wealthy minds, wealthy bodies, and healthy, of course, as well. So yeah, just bear that in mind sometimes, that when you're thinking about sensuality, it's an easy connection to make, to be sensuality is what has to do with me tapping into self, me being there for myself, instead of being okay, let me look what's the latest trend or what's going on social media. All that stuff is not it. Another thing I've noticed while exploring sensuality is that I'm really, really grateful for the way I was brought up. I was raised as a Rasta. I still have locks because of that as well. And it shaped me in a way where I've always been connected with nature. I've always cherished good frequencies around me, love, family, connections, the real world, being in tune with your body, mind, and soul. All of that stuff has always been ingrained in me, and I'm just so grateful to have that. But that is also why I think when I talk about these topics, I know that certain people can't relate because it's a new journey for them. But all in all, I think what sensuality really does is helping you to be one with yourself, to be one with your body, mind, and soul, to find your inner goddess, your inner divine goddess, or your inner god if the men are watching. It's just tapping into your own divinity, and you find peace and you find a fulfilling life as well, because sometimes it seems, again, in this world, it can seem like a never-ending rat race or whatever you may be going through, but there is a way to live a more beautiful life, a more peaceful life. So that's what sensuality has done for me. That's part of what it's done for me multiple times. And I think that's how we truly elevate. We truly elevate when we build a peaceful life with focus on personal development, on healing, on love, on friendship, on culture, on nature, on herbal medicine. That is when we're really like growing and elevating. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this topic called Sensuality 101 and got a little understanding of what it is and what I'll be talking about a lot in the near future. And yeah, for any women that are on here that are watching, that are interested to deeply learn about sensuality and understand the divine feminine and want to channel and embrace those energies and that knowledge, I've released an online course called Sensuality, the Language of the Divine Feminine. It is it's different lessons. It has everything up from understanding these topics to tips and tricks for your sexuality, sex magic, shadow work, journal prompts, guided meditation, sensual dance and sensual movement, sensual stretching, and even more things in there. The link is below in the bio, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you like this, and take care.